Alright guys, so I'm doing a little artificial turf clean here today. So I'll just do a quick video. So basically what we got here is a 40mm depth pile height. So the artificial turf is probably roughly about 40 mils from the top to the bottom of the matting. You can see there's a lot of dog fur in here, a lot of debris on the surface. That's alright, but you got to keep in mind with artificial turf that kind of depth is a breeding ground for things to take off. So if you've got an area like this where there's trees, and you know seeds are going to be blowing in, I've actually gotten rid of the weeds that are along there. But you gotta kind of think practically about it and think that if you've got that kind of environment, it's an environment for little seeds to kind of get in there. And then if you've got soil coming in from gardens, and then seeds can germinate and take off because it's a nice warm environment in there. And then all of a sudden you've got a kind of a weed problem. And it's the same with moss. You know, you've got a little shaded area right through here, and if it's getting low traffic, in other words, people aren't using it, kids aren't using it, pets aren't using it, then you can all of a sudden have a moss problem. Now, luckily this turf, it gets quite a bit of use, so it doesn't have a moss problem, but there are quite a bit of weeds along there and along there. So these are things you got to keep in mind. So if you've got an artificial turf or think about getting one, a few easy habits to get into are probably spraying every 3 to 4 months. You can actually alternate your spraying and be quite strategic. So if you've just got areas that you think are prone to problems, go along and just spray glyphosate or Roundup along the edges, or if you see weeds and moss, you can be preemptive of that. So go along and spray the low traffic areas and the shaded areas. Another thing to do is keep all the debris off. You don't want to create an even better environment for things to grow. So if you've got a blower, go along and give it a blow. If you've got a brush, a push brush or something, which actually helps to lift the turf fibers up, you can look at those options just to maintain your artificial grass. Cheers.